Before we talk about this movie, you gotta know about the cast. There's James Bond, and that's it. You're caught up. We start in a California prison where we are greeted immediately with porn music. Neil Skinner, played by Pierce Brosnan, spends his days standing outside waiting for the most brilliant acting HBO could afford after paying him.
Skinner, you're out of here. Get your property and report to R&R.
Mwah, beautiful. That's just the beginning of this movie. After getting touched all over by this lady, hey, lay off the junk. Skinner gets ambushed by some other prisoners who are there to stop him from leaving.
What's he paying you this time, Kelso?
4 packs of cools and a CD player.
Wait, how many times have you tried this? Is it worth getting kicked in the nads? Anyway, they get their nads kicked. James Bond drools on an apple looking at a picture and then immediately steals a limo. That recidivism rate is no joke. Also, this is pre-Uber Black, so what's a guy gonna do? Take a cab? The driver takes him to the local horse track where he used to run security with Ebbet Behrens, the guy...
prissy guy with the mustache!
Also, the reason Skinner was in prison in the first place and the guy trying to have him murdered, thus the cigarettes and CD player being dropped on his desk. What was the explanation given to the guys in the room?
Well, he's just trying to cut down on smoking. You know how that is.
Yeah, okay. What's on the CD player? Meditation classes? Anyway, Skinner checks out his old office, which is now inhabited by his old girlfriend / Baron's now wife / partner, and Barons is taking the time to gloat, prompting this very unsatisfactory threat from one of the greatest actors of all time.
I'm gonna take you. You won't know where, and you won't know when, but you'll feel me over your shoulder. You'll wake up in the middle of the night from a bad dream, and you'll know I'm coming.
HBO is known for a lot, but this movie is definitely not one of those things. The dialogue is so bad, even Pierce's acting sucks. It's not his fault, it's HBO's for putting on low-budget flicks to fill their 2 p.m. 80s nap time schedule. Anyway, Chick hears this, is shocked and chagrined. We'll come back to this person later because she gets real annoying. Skinner is now living out of a motel and is apparently already being spied on. That's nice and all, but why don't you just ban him from the track if you think something's up? No one has involved the police yet, which screams none of this is on the up and up. Speaking of, he immediately visits the track the next day. There's apparently a douchey-ass manager who doesn't like this old guy, and the old guy likes James Bond, so we like the old guy. His name is Stucky. There's another old guy who doesn't really do much other than compulsively gamble away his life. We call him Dancer. And then there's this guy, Ramirez, who apparently just keeps falling off his horses and is now just one rung up from Shit Scooper. Pierce is gonna try and groom him by apparently getting overly sexual with his horse leg.
You want to be a walker all your life?
Let's talk about it once I finish running from these guys.
Oh, and Ramirez is an illegal immigrant. So there are these thugs hired by Barons to basically run off Skinner. They show him a map because Google Maps hasn't been invented yet and strongly encourage him in one way or another to leave town, which he does not. The chick comes by later that night, essentially trying to do the same. To which he's like,
Listen, I'm not leaving.
but this time there's some obvious sexual tension.
So keep your pocket change in the nearest ashtray.
You still make that funny little noise when you make love?
Whoa, Pierce, cool your jets. I know prison was hard, but you gotta turn on the water before you go down that slide. You feel me, homie? Anyway, the next day Skinner is back at the track again, recurring theme as you can imagine. But this time though, this is more of a stakeout mission, trying to set up something big, which hasn't been quite revealed yet except in the obvious title of the movie. Later, the goons litter on the beach and try to ambush Skinner with a club. However, he has a secret weapon up his sleeve, a dart gun that apparently no one notices isn't a real gun, and for my favorite scene of the movie.
Move over there, sunshine. Move over, that's it, nice and easy. Okay. Strip.
Huh?
You want music? Take your clothes off. Come on, jackets first.
I edited in the intro music, and you have no idea how hard that was to say, but it seemed fitting given that James Bond over here just got out of prison and is obviously feeling very sexually frustrated. Anyway, immediately after this encounter, a cop shows up to Skinner's hotel room, and why does this dude just have his door open? This is Santa fucking Diego. What the fuck, have you not heard of crime? Wasn't he in charge of a security company? Cop assaults him despite seeing the gun he was tipped off about being a dart gun, tells him he doesn't care if he was framed, and gives him the old,
You stay away from your ex-partner, stay away from the ponies, and in particular, stay away from your ex-girlfriend.
And just like that, you now know this is a soap opera masking as a serious HBO movie. Despite now knowing he's being watched, Skinner has all the goobers getting together at his place to discuss his plans to heist the track and what their respective roles are, which differs almost in no way from what they do now. Or at least we think that until very shortly after, when there's a side convo that suggests more is going on. Of course, Pierce won't be satisfied without telling the chick his plan, so he does exactly that. Naturally, he's being followed as he tries to put the moves on her at the beach. Barnes finds out and decides to play along with this.
Twisted pretzel, this guy.
And now I hate pretzels. And right when you think all the pieces are on the board, there's random ass pictures and an old prison buddy calls Skinner and bam, there's a new player too. But it's not exactly clear what he'll be doing at first because he has no established relationship with the track. Back at the Baron's residence, they're trying to figure out what the Skinner master plan is and realize that the money will leave the ambulance once Ramirez falls off the horse. Skinner goes to give Ramirez some news in a way that should be funny, but because the movie is so bad, just isn't.
I got a ride for you.
No, really?
Yep. Chocolate balls in the 5th. I know. The horse is a dog.
He's Elmer's glue.
Runs on 3 legs.
And a mop handle. That horse has got parking tickets.
That's right, but he's your ticket out of here.
I know horses get dumb names all the time, but chocolate balls? Really? And I don't say this slightly. I once bet on a horse called Moonshoe Straight. Anyway, as he's leaving, he gets ambushed by the thugs and given some payback for the forced stripping, but then invited for a friendly chat where he's basically given some more details on how he was framed and offered some illegal emeralds as payment to go away. Skinner doesn't bite, however, which pisses off the chick somehow.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? What you feel for me doesn't even figure in this. You're not here because you love me, but because you hate him. Which is a very creepy thing, because somehow that makes you and him closer almost than you and I ever were. You make me sick! The pair of you! Ugh.
Later, Skinner finds a bug and also a mic in his hotel room, which at this point shouldn't come as a surprise. The chick comes by, tries to tell him to take the car and emeralds, and ends up getting fucked. Now, this is YouTube, so I can't show you all the sexy times, but I can tell you that if the quality of this movie has been any indicator for you so far, it's not good. If you're a 90s teen and this VHS is all you had, I'm sorry. I've had some sad wanks to this myself. Anyway, chick goes back home to Barron's, tells him the heist is tomorrow. She just got fucked by James Bond, goes right home, no problems. Next day, Skinner arrives at the racetrack, and despite all the security being on high alert, he manages to get in under the guise of wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Man, don't hire this security company. Stucky sabotages the shotgun shells with some herbal tea and crashes the alarm system, while Dancer manages to bet on Ramirez by accident.
You bet the number 10 horse?
Oh, I know it's a sucker bet. But the $50 trifecta would be something like 30 or 40 grand. What?
Dancer.
Yeah?
The number 10 horse is chocolate balls.
Chocolate ball. Ramirez.
Our very own.
Meanwhile, the thugs still can't find Skinner because they're still looking for a Hawaiian shirt, which brings this, again, piece of comedy killed by a bad movie.
Well, check them out.
Check them out?
Okay, that's the last of the porn music. Skinner puts on a dumb 80s style comic book villain mask, pulls a gun on a douchebag boss, and right as he's about to subdue him, Stucky walks in. But instead of complying with the plan, Stucky decides to let the douchebag shit his pants a bit, which, totally cool. That guy is now an honorary baller. But eventually he plays along. Once they're in there, oh look, it's Prison Friend. Question, why did they have to make the one black character a guy from prison? Thanks, racist 80s HBO. He creates a distraction, Skinner sneaks into the money room, and he quickly manages to subdue everyone with a dart gun. He walks out with a garbage bag full of cash without raising any suspicion, and bam, he is $1.5 million richer. No problems. Right about this time, Ramirez takes off in his race, and yeah, he's slow. Anyway, after what I would describe as a less than epic chase scene, Ramirez wins his race right as Skinner is running out of the front door with a food cart, where he is apprehended by the goons and brought to Barron's at the end of the grandstands. But as it turns out, Skinner only has
Beans. All right, where is it?
and there's not much you can really do with beans. They're very tasty, but it's petty theft at best. So they shut down the entire track, and no one can get in or out except apparently the INS because they're the Federales, and they get Ramirez. One of the goons quickly figures out the plan, points it out, and the chick once again switches sides and drives Skinner off the track in pursuit of the money. But the chick, surprise, surprise, double crosses him and abandons him at a gas station.
Hasta la vista!
And after a phone call with Bears reveals she's just going to go get the money and leave them both, she's probably better off. There's a lot of latent homosexuality there. Maybe it's just because of this guy's mustache. I don't know. I'm biased, so I can say these things. Anyway, Bears decides to go after the money himself, discovers the chick with the flat, gets to the border, gets a migraine, and starts having flashbacks to bad acting. Barons crosses the border, gets out, sees the chick and Skinner in an embrace, tries to cross back over, and then is promptly arrested for possession of those emeralds he tried to bribe Skinner with. And that's the end. I give this movie 3 brown eyes out of 10 pinks.